Hello and welcome to this tutorial for LEGO Harry Potter years 1 through 4. In this video we are going to be covering the lesson Wingardium Leviosa, as you would do it in any percent or no levels early. So this lesson takes place immediately after 1-1. You spawn here in the overworld in the Gryffindor boys' bedroom. And the first thing we're going to do is just move player 1 for this room. And we need to get rid of these spider webs. So what you do, you normally have player 2 dropped in here if you finish 1-1 in the normal way. But what you're going to do here is stand around this area with Harry. Make sure you're standing still and you're just going to shoot twice to break those spider webs, and that reveals the door. If you stand too far back, say here, then you're going to open this, and that just takes an extra shot, which costs another second or so. So you want to try and avoid that. But then we go through this door here, and again this room, you want to move P1 only up to the camera pan. The camera pan is kind of just to the right of where I am. You can see the wand of Hermione just pointing at Harry there. The important thing to look for in this camera pan, though, is where Harry and Ron spawn afterwards. You want to pick the one out of the two that you see in the camera pan that's standing closest to the front and to the right. So if we go in this camera pan here, watch as the kind of camera turns around to show Harry, Ron and Hermione. Look where Harry and Ron are. In this case, Harry is in front, so we'll do this next movement with Harry. Sometimes Ron is in front, so you'll do that movement with Ron. But yeah, we'll move Harry here, and all Harry has to do is from about this area here, you can jump and shoot this, and then the moment this painting is like fully turned around, you can shoot again, and then Harry's going to run up against this wall to be able to then cut through in front of there. In this room, we're going to move player 2 only, because player 2 is closer to the door. And this is very simple movement to get to here. And this room, we have our first camera pan skip, or CPS. What we're going to do here is do what you're normally supposed to do. So we normally pull out Scabbers here. And Scabbers is going to go up to the top and activate this button. What we're immediately then going to do is recall Scabbers. And we're going to recall Scabbers and position Ron about here. And then we wait about a second or so, and then we're going to put Scabbers down again. And that pushes Ron backwards through the door. And allows us to leave the door. And we can do that while a camera pan is starting. The important thing is to time this. You need to wait about a second once you're in position. If you wait too long, then you won't pull out the pet in time. If you go too quickly, then you can actually softlock straight away. So this is quite a risky strat to go for, I guess, but there is quite a wide window to time it. So Scabbers is going to hit this, and then position Ron, and then put the pet out. And then immediately once you've done that, you saw the camera pan kind of start, which means I got it. And then I'm going to go through this door, and with both characters I'm going to be mashing the B button. And that's to wave at the painting. Basically, it's possible you could get a frame-perfect wave on the painting if you do it quickly enough. So we'll go through here, and you see I got it with Ron that time. That's actually quite rare for me to get it. But getting it with Ron meant that I saved maybe couple seconds or so. And then we move through here with Harry. This room we can move with Harry or Hermione. That's one thing I forgot to mention. When I was up here, before the camera pan started, once I'd waved at the painting, I then switched to Hermione. And that's just for a little bit of character management for later on. But then we go through the door here, and we are going to make our way down this way. So this is just P1 movement. It could be P1 or P2 actually, it doesn't matter for this room. But then as we go through here, the very first thing we want to do is immediately we want to go to the left. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch characters with P1 as soon as we can, and then move to the left. So if I show that, we'll switch and go. That was a bad attempt. Let's do that again. Switch like that and go. Same in this room as well, to save a little bit of time, and then we enter the classroom. So in the classroom itself, the moment you spawn in, The first thing you're going to do is, with player 2, you're actually going to go to the right. And you're going to lift up this thing, using the Windardium Leviosa spell. Player 1, at the same time, will switch characters and make their way over to the left-hand side, and just get as far as they can while player 2 is doing this. So player 2 will lift that, and I will... So player 2 will lift this, and then I'll switch and just move as far as I can to the left-hand side with Ron. And that rescues one of the 3 students. We're then going to make our way all the way over here with Ron, and we're going to build part of this staircase. We are just going to use this blue piece for this, and put the staircase over here. Then we're going to jump up onto this step, jump up, and jump up again. With Ron, we're then going to make our way over to the side, over to the right. On our way, we are going to shoot this painting. We're going to ignore it for the moment, and when I get to about here, we're going to switch characters with player 2. And you see player 2 is now up top and in a good position to be able to build the right hand side here. So what's going to happen is player 2 will build the right hand side. Player 1 will start assembling this statue here. So you first have to put the body on, then the head, and then finally the spear or whatever. And then what we want to do is lift both of these up at the same time. This is very easy to time 1 player, a lot more difficult to time 2 players. But you see, with the building with player 2 actually, you automatically turn and position yourself in a spot where you can lift up the weight thing, which is very useful. With player 1 you have to turn and face it manually, but that's not too bad. And then you just want to make sure you press B at the same time with both. And you can see both animations are kind of resolving themselves at the same time, which says that we've done it right. And we get this short status screen here. And that is the end of the level. Okay, so I'll now go through this again, but doing it quicker this time. So, to start, going to move straight away with Harry, position ourselves about here for the shot, and then can immediately run through the door. And taking this line to try and get the camera pan. And then we watch to see where Harry and Ron, who's closest. Once again, it's Harry. So we'll do this next movement with Harry. And we'll make our way over here. Shoot that, and shoot it again. And then go through the door. Again, this room moved with P2 only, because P2 spawns closer. And now we set up for the camera pan skip. You can also jump up the stairs with scabbers, which saves a tiny bit of time. But there we go, we get the camera pan skip again. Unfortunately, I didn't get the frame perfect wave that time, but you saw I switched off to Hermione there. A lot quicker. And then we go down these stairs and through this door. This room again, it doesn't matter which character you move, they both take pretty much the exact same time to move. The one thing you need to make sure of is getting out of the way of students. Switch here immediately. And switch here immediately as well, to be able to get through the door. And then immediately I switch with player 1, because player 1's got further distance to travel. But then make sure I don't bottleneck player 2, so I make sure player 2 is quick enough to lift that as well. Move the stairs to here. Unfortunately, we've got this thing where the stairs jump up. That's just kind of a thing that happens. I don't think there's any real consistent way of avoiding that. But you're going to see here, player 2 is positioning themselves in exactly the right place while we build the statue with player 1. And we got the camera pan overlap again, which means we have completed this level, or this lesson. So thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.